This touching scene was recorded by a wildlife rescue team in India. A small leopard cub can be seen in the footage scampering up to a nearby hut and meowing pitifully. The cub's desperate cries quickly alerted the locals, who came running. They had no idea what had happened, but they followed the sound to a nearby riverbank where they discovered a huge python with the lifeless body of a leopard hanging from its mouth. The reptile had killed the big cat, but not before it sustained injuries that ultimately led to its own demise. A wildlife rescue team was summoned to the scene. After witnessing the bravery of the small leopard cub, everyone was astounded. Continue watching to learn more about this remarkable incident. The leopard cub must have been only a few months old when he did something that shocked everyone who witnessed it. Leopards are known to be solitary creatures, but this little guy didn't hesitate to seek assistance when his mother got stuck in a snake's coils. In fact, he demonstrated remarkable courage by sprinting away from danger in order to get help, and he didn't stop running until he found someone who could assist him. He must have learned this behavior from his mother, who had most likely taught him how to hunt and gather food. The little guy used this knowledge to save his own life after his mother was killed. This demonstrates that even the smallest of creatures can display extraordinary bravery. Leopards can have cubs once every 2 years, so it's possible that the small cub's mother died while she was pregnant, which would mean that the little guy had to save himself as well as his siblings. Leopards usually give birth to 3 to 4 cubs, so there's a good chance that the small cub wasn't an only child. If his mother had managed to survive the encounter with the python, she would have most likely passed on her hunting and survival skills to her children. However, since she was killed, the little cub will have to fend for himself and his siblings, relying on the kindness of others to teach them how to survive in the wild. There have been numerous instances of leopards killing snakes, including cobras and adders. Leopards are generally immune to snake venom, although some species of snakes, such as the boomslang and the Malayan pit viper, have venom that can kill a leopard. In these cases, the leopard is unlikely to survive. As a result, it's critical for leopards to be able to defend themselves against snakes. In this particular situation, the python had already killed the leopard, so the little cub knew that he had to take action in order to save himself and his siblings. When the wildlife rescue team arrived, they were astonished by what they saw. The leopard cub was meandering around aimlessly and making distressed noises. It appeared to be confused and scared, probably because it had never had to fend for itself before. The little guy was also hungry and thirsty, which is understandable given that he had just witnessed his mother being killed. The wildlife rescue team wasted no time in taking the necessary precautions. They approached the dead leopard cautiously and used a stick to remove the snake. The reptile was huge, measuring over 23 feet in length and weighing nearly 300 pounds. It's believed that the python was attracted to the leopard because it was pregnant. Python are known to be attracted to the scent of prey, and a pregnant leopard's scent could have been too much for the reptile to resist. Unfortunately, the python had no way out of the situation once it realized that its prey was hooked. So it hung there lifeless, waiting for help to arrive. As soon as the python was removed, the wildlife rescue team turned their attention to the leopard cub. They coaxed the little guy into a cage using a stick and some meat. The cub was hesitant at first, but eventually succumbed to his hunger and thirst and entered the cage. Once inside, the team members offered the cub water and milk, which he lapped up eagerly. It was clear that the little guy was thirsty and hungry, and he took advantage of the opportunity to quench his thirst and satisfy his hunger. It's important to note that leopards are solitary animals and don't usually live in groups. Therefore, when the leopard cub's mother was killed, he became an orphan and had to rely on the kindness of strangers to survive. The wildlife rescue team understood the gravity of the situation and acted quickly. In general, the team was astonished by the bravery of the leopard cub. Even though he was just a tiny creature, he managed to alert the locals and lead them to his mother who needed help. Leopards are typically solitary animals and don't live in groups, but the little guy didn't hesitate to seek assistance when his mother was in danger. This demonstrates remarkable courage and resourcefulness. The leopard cub's behavior is unusual for a number of reasons. First and foremost, leopards are solitary creatures who avoid one another. However, the little guy didn't hesitate to approach humans in order to obtain assistance. Leopards are also known to be skittish animals, but the cub remained calm and collected, which allowed him to successfully convey his message to the people who witnessed him. Finally, leopards are not typically vocal animals, but the cub made distress noises that alerted the locals to his mother's plight. All of these factors make the leopard cub's behavior unique and noteworthy. When the wildlife rescue team arrived at the scene, they were confronted with a difficult decision. On one hand, they had to put the snake down due to its size and the fact that it had killed a leopard. On the other hand, they were faced with the challenge of dealing with a leopard cub who had witnessed his mother's death. The team had to act quickly and decisively in order to ensure the safety of both the snake and the cub. The wildlife rescue team's response was swift and efficient. They humanely euthanized the snake and then turned their attention to the leopard cub. The team's priority was to ensure the cub's well-being, which included providing it with water and milk, as well as transporting it to a safe location. The team's ability to handle both the snake and the cub in a calm and controlled manner was crucial in ensuring a successful outcome for both animals. The leopard cub's reaction to the death of its mother was also noteworthy. Despite the traumatic experience, the cub remained calm and collected, which allowed the rescue team to approach and interact with it safely. The cub's behavior demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability, which bodes well for its future in the wild. Overall, the wildlife rescue team's response to this incident was commendable. Their ability to handle a potentially dangerous situation with skill and efficiency resulted in the humane euthanasia of a large snake and the rescue of a leopard cub. The team's dedication to the well-being of both animals is evident and serves as a model for other wildlife rescue operations. Now let's look at some of the reactions to this amazing event. Many people were astounded by the bravery of the little leopard cub. Some went as far as to call the cub a hero, praising its quick thinking and resourcefulness. Others expressed admiration for the leopard's loyalty, noting that the cub's actions were driven by its love for its mother. Some viewers were also impressed by the cub's composure, pointing out that it remained calm and collected despite the traumatic circumstances. There were also many comments praising the wildlife rescue team for their swift and efficient response to the incident. People commended the team's ability to handle a potentially dangerous situation with skill and care, ensuring the well-being of both the snake and the cub. Overall, the response to this video has been overwhelmingly positive, with many people expressing admiration, awe, and gratitude for the bravery and compassion displayed by the leopard cub and the wildlife rescue team. We appreciate you watching the video. If you like our work, please subscribe and share it with your friends. Your support helps us continue rescuing and caring for animals in need. Thank you for being a part of our mission.